It's our procedure that we go out to the public to identify children, particularly between ages 3 and 5, who may have a potential disability identified under IDEA 2004. And this screening is to find out if there's a problem with maybe speech, cognitive behavior, things in that area, or motor skills. And basically, we do a screening, and because we can't identify, parents will call us and we'll ask them what their concerns are. One of the key things we do ask when they do call is when they've last seen a doctor, because sometimes, especially with little guys and gals, they get ear infections, things like that, and that may have a bearing on them. Even that early age, they may need glasses, things like that. So we ask when they last saw a pediatrician or if there was concerns from a doctor. Another thing we do is we ask questions like, are they around other kids? Because there'll be little Johnny or little Mary that doesn't talk at all, and the bottom line, they're around adults, so they have no reason to be talking with, communicating. So these are types of things. But if we, after the screening, after the calls, and we feel they need to be tested, or I'm sorry, screened, not test, we contact the parent and we schedule a screening. And it's a 2-day affair, because little guys and gals get tired in one day, a bunch of against stuff. Sometimes they just are bored with being asked a lot of questions by adults.
What happens after the screening process?
If it is determined by the reports, because a school psychologist is involved, a speech therapist, as well as an early childhood special education teacher, if it's determined that, let me back this up. Once the report is completed, we get a hold of everyone concerned and we have an eligibility meeting. We cannot make a determination until what we call the individual education or eligibility team is in present and makes that determination, because it's not made by me or the school psychologist or the speech therapist. It's determined by the reports, and the team makes a decision. Because parents can refuse special education services now.
Now, there was a pre-screening deadline on May 21st, but there's another one coming up?
Yeah, we're hoping to do one in August, and probably we'll put out word in middle of July, late July, when this screening will be. And one thing, Sal, we do it during the year as well. We'll get calls during the school year that, concerned about their little child and stuff like that, and we'll refer them to the proper person to have it addressed. What we try and do is to get a whole group together at one time, and that way we can get more bang for the bucks, as you say. We got everybody in place, everybody doing it, and it's like a rolling operation. We do it at a week time.
Now we're talking about younger children, ages 3 to 5. What about older students?
We do that year-round. In the public school system, if a student's identified with a problem, we hope it gets addressed by the parent or the teacher to the school instructional intervention team to put interventions into place. And so we're doing child find for these students as well throughout the whole year. And during the interventions, they may come up with a strategy that works for a child. Let's say a child who is sometimes identified as having ADHD, attention deficit disorder. They may want to come up with a strategy, have the child sit a little closer to the table. Or some kids who like to tap their feet, tell them to tap their feet and just be quiet about it and don't disturb any. Kids happy. Those are interventions that are basically we call good teaching. And it happens in the classroom. But we go further. If those interventions don't work, then we request, then we'll have that intervention package sent to me. I'll review it for all the proper documentation. Then we'll send it to a school psychologist and to set up a permission for an assessment. And we need the parental approval to do that assessment. We cannot do it without it. And the combination of an intervention and assessment determines eligibility.
Budget cuts are affecting school districts statewide. How is your program being affected by these budget cuts?
Like everyone else, we take a look at it. We have to tighten our belt. Even though we're federally funded, through a grant system and that, we do affect the school budget because you always heard it, and government never funds always up to 100%. So we do get into the general fund. But like everyone else, we're cutting our belts. We're looking to streamline some of the operations, consolidate. In fact, this year, all the early childhood programs are being moved to one campus that was approved by the board, I'm going to guess about a month ago. And with that, we're going to consolidate, and we anticipate a savings of approximately $65,000 in transportation costs and a potential another cost in the teaching position that is not presently filled because we've got them all in one place.
Now, if parents want to know more about this early childhood screening program, is there a number they can call?
Sure can. They can give our office a call, and it's 751-4015. That's busy, 751-4014. And the other thing is that you could, and if we're tied up on the phone, we've got an answering machine.